Hi there. Finally I managed to make this video. I've been sick for a while, having some kind of virus that has really also affected my voice, so I haven't been very active in making these videos. Wanted to save my voice, and now I'm finally getting a bit better, so I get to do this one. I already have made a short video on this topic, and now I get to kind of expand on this idea and give you further examples and also do maybe some practicing here together. And the topic is, of course, the practicing on real music. So basically using real tracks, for instance from Spotify or YouTube, as a background for your voice exercises. To me, now that I have been doing this, it kind of seems pretty obvious somehow that modern singers should actually practice this way instead of doing this traditional practicing with piano accompaniment in this way. Before we dive into the action, I want to give a little bit background. So why don't we want to do that? What I just did is that's pretty far away from real singing. And in practicing whatever skill it is that you're practicing, the context is always a very important factor, because our brain is not very good at kind of transferring the learned skill into new, let's say, environments. So immediately when we start changing kind of the context where we have practiced, the performing of the skill becomes very much harder for our brain. And if I all the time practice in that manner, I might become very skilled lip trill artist, or somebody who can sing beautifully scales with vowels on that type of piano accompaniment. But immediately when we need to go something like everybody needs some love, it becomes very much harder, because we haven't actually been practicing that. We've been practicing that thing, you know. So the first thing why it is absolutely important that you use real music for practicing is the context, but also in addition to that is another important thing. When we use real music backgrounds from different genres, we kind of also get influenced about those styles, and since it is real music, real drum beats or hip-hop beats on the background, we kind of simultaneously get the kind of these small detailed nuances that are part of the genre, and we really learn to also kind of automatically get those into our singing as well. There's not much like influence available from this thing. That's just static piano accompaniment, so please use the advances of modern technology. We are able to listen to real music like this fast from any device, so why not use it in practicing? I can understand that traditionally, like a couple of hundred years ago, when these classical singers were practicing, they couldn't use like real symphonic orchestra playing on the background for doing their voice exercises. So that's kind of understandable that way back this wasn't the way of practicing, but there are no excuses for modern singer, I should say. Okay, third thing that must be mentioned, that was kind of the whole idea of my short video. So perfect way of exercising for beginner singer, because you don't have to know anything about chords and scales. You can just basically turn on your favorite track from Spotify and start practicing. Okay, now let's go a little bit into what kind of exercises we can do this way. Well, basically anything, absolutely anything. If you are obsessed with your lip trill exercises or whatever go-to exercises you do, you can do them also on real music. But of course I always recommend that don't get stuck with those type of especially lip trill exercises, because, well, as mentioned, it's not real singing. One more time, it's not real singing, so better to all the time change your exercises to get some variability and also move your practicing towards real singing. But anyways, you can do those on real music if you want to. The approach that I prefer is with beginner singers, we always tend to start with straight or steady vowel phonation. Just kind of start to practicing finding good pitch levels that sit on the track you are listening. And then when you start to get hang of it, you start to add a little bit difficulty and also that variability. So you can start, for instance, changing the pitch a little bit after each repetition, also changing the vowel and adding some scale. Scale was the bad word, but you don't have to be scared of that, although I threw it in. It's very easy to do it on real music, so we look at it very soon on this video. So we start to kind of add, I put it a little bit other way, we start to add a little bit melody on the exercise. So instead of just going we start to go something like that. So adding some melody, maybe some like melodies with little bit where the pitch little bit jumps instead of just going to the next available pitch. We could be going like something like that, and then we try to add this variance and difficulty little by little when you are progressing, and then very importantly we start to use like real words and real phrases from real songs. We don't need to be singing the exact words or phrases from the song we are listening. We can come up with basically any type of word melody combination. If we want, we can just pick a word, let's say, or let's take like a sentence that would be, let's go for instance, I am good. So we can like sing 3 words on one pitch, and then we can start to add melody again. I am good. And everything we're doing, will be doing on the real live music.